Hey you! You're watching a clip from the DynamiteGizmo podcast. This is not the full episode, but if you want to see the full episode, make sure to click the link in the description. And remember, like, comment, subscribe. Do it now! Here's the clip. Can you see that? Does that look good? Yeah, that looks nice. Okay, so the first two fights of the night on the early prelims are tough championship finals, or whatever the fuck you call it. I don't watch Tough, so I don't know what it's all about. But these are like the finals for these guys, okay? I don't know shit about these guys. I don't really care. So this one I paid attention to. Well, I looked on Tapology to figure out some shit. So I'm going to go for this guy here, Idris. He's 10-0 from Kazakhstan. And then the next couple of guys, I haven't looked up anything about these motherfuckers. These guys just got announced on the card, so I don't know shit, but I'm gonna go for the Brazilian guy because he looks cool. Whoops, I moved him out of the way. Get back there, dude. Don't you go sneaking away. Okay, now we're gonna start getting into fights that I actually looked into. Okay, so we got Karine Killer Silva and Dion the Witch Barboza, okay? Now, originally, Dion the Witch Barboza was not supposed to fight on this card. It was another girl, but they got swapped out, okay? So, Karine Killer Silva, she has an MMA record of 18-5-0. UFC record is 4-1-0. She is on a one-fight losing streak. She has had one performance of the night bonus. She is a fighting nerd. And her debut into the UFC was the performance of the night bonus that she won. Then we have Dion the Witch Barboza. Her MMA record is 8-3-0. UFC record 2-1-0. She is on a one-fight win streak. She has also won one performance of the night bonus. And she has actually beaten Karine Silva in Katana fight back in 2019 by unanimous decision. So initially, I was actually going to go for Karine, but now I'm thinking I might go for the Witch. But Karine's pretty good, and she's ranked. I'm going to stick with my guns here. I'm going to go with Killer. And then, of course, we got Bryan Battle versus Nursultan Rizuboyev, okay? So Bryan the Butcher Battle is 12-2-0. UFC record is 7-1-0. He's on a 4-fight win streak. He's had 2 performance of the night bonuses, and he is great on the mic. Nursultan Rizuboyev is 36-9-2. His UFC record is 4-1-0. He's on a 2-fight win streak. He has had 1 performance of the night bonus. And like I said earlier, he has had 47 fights and is only 31 years old, and only 5 of them have been in the UFC. His only loss in the UFC was to Joaquin Buckley, as crazy as that sounds. So this guy's pretty experienced, all right? But I'm not going to go against Bryan the Butcher Battle because I love him. I could see him losing this, but I don't want him to. So I'm going to go for Bryan Battle. Then we have Edson Jr. Barboza, a fucking OG in the sport, versus Drakkar Klose. So Edson Jr. Barboza is 24-12-0, UFC record of 18-12-0. He's on a 1-fight losing streak. He's had 3 performance of the night bonuses, 10 fight of the night bonuses, and he has been in the UFC since 2010. He has fought legends such as Donald Cerrone, Paul Felder, Tony Ferguson, Anthony Pettis, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Dan Hooker, Justin Gaethje, and Bryce Mitchell. And he has never fought for the title. His highest ranking in the lightweight division was number 4, and he currently is not ranked. Then we have Drakkar Klose. 15-3-1 UFC, 9-3-0. He's on a 1-fight losing streak. He has had 2 performance of the night bonuses, and he was undefeated outside of the UFC. He's also much younger than Barboza. I forgot to mention. Barboza is like 41 years old. So I think for this one, I'm going to go for Mr. Close. All right, we're moving on to Chase the Dream Hooper versus Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez. Chase is 16-3-1, and in the UFC he's 8-3-0. He's on a 3-fight win streak. He has had 2 performance of the night bonuses, 0 fight of the night, and he's only 25. But as you can see, he looks even younger. He took out Clay Guida and Jim Miller in his last 2 fights, 2 legends of the sport. And Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez is 16-8-0. In the UFC, he's 8-7-0. He's on a 2-fight win streak. He has had 2 performance of the night bonuses and 1 fight of the night bonus. And his debut into the UFC was a win over Beneil Dariush, believe it or not. And that is what earned him one of his performance of the night bonuses. And just like Chase Hooper, he has had a win over Jim Miller. And I am not going to go for the Great Ape. I'm going to go for Mr. Hoop. Now we move on to a couple badass chicks. Jessica Bate Estaca Andrade versus Lupita Lupi Godinez. Now Jessica Andrade is 26-14-0. In the UFC, she's 17-12-0. She's on a 2-fight losing streak. She's had 6 performance of the night bonuses, 5 fight of the night bonuses. She is the former UFC strawweight champion, but she has had no title defenses. She's an OG in the sport. Lupi is 13-5-0. In the UFC, she's 8-5-0. 1 fight win streak, 1 performance of the night bonus, and nothing really else to say about her other than in her last fight she pooped her pants. Lupi had a poopy, and she said it on the mic in the corner. She's like, I have to take a shit. Yeah, but she had to keep going, and because of that, I'm going to vote for Lupi. Next up, we got Gerald GM3 Mearshart versus Michael Hassar Oleksejczyk. Oh, wait. Actually, I wrote down the phonetic way to pronounce this. It's not actually Michael. It's Michał, apparently. Michał Oleksijczuk. All right? Now, Gerald Mearshart is 37-19-0. His UFC record is 12-11-0. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He's had 5 performance of the night bonuses. He's been fighting since 2007, and he's 37 years old. Now, Michał, there's no way that's how his name is pronounced, is 29-0. His UFC record is 8-7-0-1, no contest. He's on a 1-fight win streak. He's had 3 performance of the night bonuses, and he's had 2 fight of the night bonuses. I didn't realize he was 8-7 in the UFC. And I just got announced that I believe it's him. He has now joined the Fighting Nerds. As crazy as that sounds. Now I was gonna vote for him before I even heard about that, but now that makes me want to vote for him even more. Next up, we have Bobby Green, not King Green. It's Bobby Green. Oh, also I have one thing to say about Michał. Oleksijczuk. Okay, Hassar. He was the final guy to give Sam Alvey his 8th consecutive loss in the UFC before he ultimately got cut. Poor Sam Alvey. Anyway. Bobby Green versus Diego Fiera. Bobby Green is 32-17-1. In the UFC, he's 13-12-1-1. No contest. He's on a 2-fight losing streak, 4 performance of the night, 4 fight of the nights. Diego, 19-6-0. UFC, he's 10-6-0. He's on a 1-fight losing streak. 4 performance of the night, 3 fight of the night. This could go either way, but I'm going to go for Diego because he's Brazilian and I like him. And Bobby Green just has always rubbed me the wrong way. Now we're on the main card. We've got Tim Elliott versus Kai Asakura. Tim Elliott, 20-13-1, 9-11 in the UFC. He's on a 1-fight losing streak, 3 performance of the night, 3 fight of the nights, and he's been in the UFC since 2012. Also ranked number 11. Kai Asakura, 21-5-0, UFC 0-1-0. He's on a 1-fight losing streak, 0 performance of the night, 0 fight of the night. He was very dominant in Rizin. He was the flyweight champ before vacating and coming to the UFC to fight Pantoja on his debut. He did not win. In Rizin, he was 13-3-0, and one of those losses was to Manel Kopp, believe it or not. Now, I'll vote for Kai Asakura because I'd like to see him succeed in the UFC, but I don't know how this is going to go. But this will be a test. He's also ranked number 15 in flyweight. Next up, we got a banger again. Jared Killer Gorilla Cannonier versus Michael Venom Page. Cannonier, 18-8-0, UFC 11-8-0. 1-fight win streak, 4 performance of the night, 4 fight of the night. His last win was to RoboCop, a very great win. He has beaten Vettori, Strickland, Brunson, Gastelum, Hermanson, and Anderson Silva. But right now he's 41 years of age. And when he did beat Anderson Silva was old and ready to get out of there. MVP is 23-3-0, 2-1-0 in the UFC. He's on a 2-fight win streak. 0 performance of the night, 0 fight of the night. Despite winning damn near every fight that he had in Bellator, he never had the title. He was 17-2-0 in Bellator. His last fight in Bellator was for the interim welterweight title due to the champion, Yaroslav Amasov, vacating the belt to support the Ukraine in the war. But MVP did not win the fight, and he left to join the UFC. And also, MVP isn't that young either. He's 38. Cannonier's 41. But MVP has a huge advantage in this fight, being that he's very unorthodox, slightly younger, and he's ready to go, motherfucker. Okay, next up we got Jeff Hands of Steel Neal versus Carlos the Nightmare Prates. Jeff Neal is 16-6-0, 8-4-0 in the UFC, 1-fight win streak, 2 performance of the nights, 1 fight of the night. And Carlos is 21-7-0, 4-1-0 in the UFC. He's on a 1-fight losing streak against Ian Gary, if you remember, and he's had 4 performance of the night. He's also had a win. Excuse me. He's also had a win over a different Charles Oliveira in SFT combat. His last fight was close. In the end, it looked like he had an opening to finish Ian Gary, but he didn't jump on the opportunity. He's one of the 4 main fighting nerds, and he's the only one of the fighting nerds to have a loss on their UFC record so far. We all love Carlos Prates. It's hard to vote against him, and it's also hard to vote for Jeff Neal. So there we go. Carlos Prates it is. Now we are on the co-main event of the evening. We got Lerone, the Miracle Murphy, versus Aaron Pico. Lerone his MMA record is 16-0-1. His UFC record is 8-0-1. He is technically on a 20-fight win streak if you include his amateur fights. He has had 1 performance of the night, 1 fight of the night. His most recent wins back-to-back are Josh Emmett, Dan Ige, and Edson Barboza. He's on a crazy undefeated streak, even outside of the UFC. 56% of his wins are by decision, and 44% are by KO. So he's not the most exciting fighter to watch, but he always gets the job done. Then we have Aaron Pico, whose MMA record is 13-4-0. This is his UFC debut, so he doesn't have that. But in Bellator, he was 12-4-0. He's on a 3-fight win streak, no performance of the night, no fight of the nights. He has only ever fought in Bellator, no other organization. He's only been in Bellator. But he had one fight in the PFL when PFL bought Bellator. And he has never had a belt in Bellator, but was a dominant fighter in the organization and is very well known for his wrestling. I understand if you want to vote for Aaron Pico, but I gotta go for Lerone Murphy, not only for his dominance in the sport, specifically in the UFC, but also just the track record of what Bellator guys have been doing to us lately in their debuts. No matter how dominant they are in Bellator, it doesn't seem to translate in the UFC. So we'll see. And then finally, the main event of the evening. I don't need to go over what these guys have accomplished because I already did that at the beginning of the video. And I'm sure you're already aware if not. But we got Dricus Du Plessis versus Khamzat Chimaev. Now, as I've always said, my brain is telling me Du Plessis is going to take it. But my body is telling me Boers. My body is telling me Boers. I really want Khamzat to win. And he is the favorite, at least for now. As crazy as that is. But I think I'm going to vote for Du Plessis because that's the smart way to go. But I would love Khamzat to just take it, dude. Come on, Khamzat, show me what you're made of. I want to make love to you, Khamzat. No, I don't. No, I don't. This is my full card. Screenshot it if you want to use it as reference. If you think I'm good at voting, I usually am. Okay, this is out of 14. I usually am only like 3 or 4 off every time. I've never had 100%, but that is my goal. One day I will have 100%. As for now, I don't.
Tap here to watch the full episode of the Dynamite Gizmo podcast.